Hello everyone. In this video, I would like to show my samples for three different band scores. So we got this part three question here. It's, I think, available in the Assistant app right now. So here's the question. The question says, is it important to have a meal together with your family? So let's try to write a band six answer right now first. Band six answer. How does it look like? So a band six answer or a lower candidate usually starts with something like, to be honest with you, right? Be honest with you. It's very, very typical for somebody who scores six or lower. So I'm not here to judge anybody, but the point is, this is more like the same expression that most candidates who get a low score end up using. So to be honest with you, I think, right, it is important to have a meal together with our family members. As you see, what happens here is the candidate is repeating the question. To be honest with you, I think it's important to have a meal together with our family members. And then the next thing is they typically start with the word because to connect the idea, and then they move on to the explanation part. Because when we sit together, we talk to each other, right? Let's say, and share maybe what's going on in our lives, right? The explanation part is fine, but well, if you use the word because, it's fine, but if you overuse it again and again and again in every answer, so you show that you have a language barrier in terms of vocabulary. You are overusing the same expression. So you start with, to be honest with you, like every time you are starting with this expression, and to connect the next sentence, you use the word because. So I suggest to use some other alternatives. And a very typical one is the next sentence is probably going to start with the word for example. For example, by the way, this is a part three question. I said that earlier, I think, right? So I prefer, let's play it this way. I prefer to have a meal, right? Let's make it look like a band six. I prefer to have meal with my family, and I enjoy to talk to them. So what is wrong with this sentence? The question is general. It's not about the candidate, right? It says, is it important? So it would be better to talk about, everybody, not about her or himself, right? So the candidate started with the word for example and talked about their own experience. And there is a grammar mistake here. There should be a meal, right? I prefer to have a meal with my family, and I enjoy, it's not to talk, but talking. I'm sure you identified the mistake already. So I enjoy talking to them. This part is really unnecessary. And then what happens in the end is they again repeat the idea. It's important for that reason, right? So repeating the idea once again. You got it right? Let's read it one more time. To be honest with you, I think it's important to have a meal together with our family members, because when we sit together, we talk to each other and share what's going on in our lives. For example, I prefer to have, so it was, without a, right? I prefer to have meal with my family, and I enjoy to talk to them. It's important for that reason. You understood, I guess. Great. Now, moving on to a band seven, or maybe higher. So band seven plus answer, let's call it. All right, a band seven. So a band seven or higher candidate starts they answer differently. For example, I think it is maybe indeed essential. So instead of the word important, the candidate uses the word essential. All right. So essential to what? Essential to have a meal? No, family meal, right? So a candidate is able to change the expression. So instead of saying having a meal together with our family, so the candidate says have a family meal, all right? Together with our, so instead of saying family members, maybe they use the word parents and siblings, right? Like brothers and sisters. And then this candidate explains the reason, like, because, what is the reason? Through this way, right, we make our bonds stronger. Bond means relationship, which means a candidate is able to use different expressions, not bad. But why is this not a plus, 8+ answer? Because some words could be changed. Some expressions could be changed. Some more information could be given. Well, I'm not done yet. So because through this way, we make our bonds stronger. And then further explanation, it is a good time, right? Maybe to discuss. I'm sorry. So there's a good time to discuss important plans, right? Important plans or issues with each other, right? So a candidate is able to add this information, right? And otherwise what happens is it is hard to gather everyone around the table these days, right? As maybe I stop here and I say because, right? Because people are busy with their work or study, right? And have no time, right, to talk to, maybe we say, talk to their family members. Right? So this candidate did not make any major grammar mistakes, but the idea could have been developed a little bit, and some words could have been replaced. You got the point, right? What about a band 8+ answer? So, 8, 8.5, 9, 9.5, 10, etc. All right. How do you think they start? So they may start with something like a family get together. That's a good expression, right? Family get together. These two are collocated. Family get together means, so it's obviously understandable, when family members gather around. So family get together, like having a meal together with, maybe we'll say together, having a meal together around the table is one of many family traditions, right? Traditions that, okay, I made a mistake here. Traditions that should indeed be a part of, right, our everyday lives, right? As you see, already the candidate is starting differently. All right, not using any fancy vocabulary, anything to impress the examiner, but the answer is different, right? So a family get together, like having a meal together around the table, is one of many family traditions that should indeed be a part of our everyday lives. Now, further explanation. We live, for example, in the world where relationships between members in most families, all right, are fading away. Fading away means disappearing, right? Fading away since their attention attention is taken or diverted by, so like phones, internet, right? And busy, right? So instead of busy, I write the word hectic work schedule. So they have a very busy work schedule. And I think that having maybe we say regular meal, right, together with family members would help. So instead of saying to make our bonds stronger, I say strengthen, right? Strengthen bonds with each other or one another. And then I write like further explanation, encouraging people to understand the importance of family relationships. So this is the difference. Let's try to read it again. A family get together, like having a meal together around the table, is one of many family traditions that should indeed be a part of our everyday lives. We live in the world where relationships between members in most families are fading away, since their attention is diverted by technology and hectic work schedule. And I think that having a regular meal together with family members would help strengthen bonds with one another, encouraging people to understand the importance of family relationships. All right, as you can see, the first candidate, right, had problems with grammar, vocabulary, and the idea generation. Okay, and a band 7+ student, so they started quite well, connected the ideas, but some more further explanation could have been given, plus words, right, could be rephrased with other expressions like better alternatives. And the last candidate, so this candidate put everything in order, further explaining the details, paying attention to every minor point here. All right, so this is the difference. Thank you for your time. Have a good part of the day. Bye.